Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie and welcome to this week's WIP and Chat. If you're new, each week here on my channel, Monday mornings usually, I do a WIP and Chat where I work on a diamond painting and chat your ear off for an hour or so. Usually talking about things, well, related to diamond painting, but also just catching up on life and whatnot. So feel free to grab a cup of coffee, grab a snack, and pull out a diamond painting to work alongside me if you'd like. See if you can make a little dent in your current project. Or I'm more than happy, of course, to keep you company with whatever you're up to today. If you're interested in having some company while you craft or get things done, I do have a playlist with all the WIP and Chats I've done here on my channel over the years. That playlist will be linked in the description box of this video, along with all of the accessories I'm using today and well, no, I can't link the kit that I'm working on because the shop closed. We'll talk more about that in a bit, but lots of helpful links in the description box of this video if you want more info, want further viewing, want more info about the things that I'm working on and with today. That said, I'm going to be working on the kit Stars and Whiskers from Dia Mood and the artist Daria LV Fox. I had saved the section with the cat's face for very last, but I actually haven't quite finished the bottom row on this one. That said, it was too tempting not to work on this during my WIP and Chat this week, so we're gonna see if we can get some of this adorable cat's face done. The original artwork I'll show you here is right here. So really cute, really cute piece. I'm interested to see if maybe this artist might go on to sign with another small shop now that Dia Mood has closed. I hope that they do, because I'd love for their artwork to be able to be something we can still enjoy from other shops. So fingers crossed, fingers crossed. But I'll at least link to the artist's Instagram if you want to check them out, even though I can't link to this exact kit. Now, accessories wise, my pen is from Black Wolf Woodworks. This is probably one of my top favorite pens that I have in my collection. I got this kit, I think, back in 2020. This pen back in 2020. And it remains to this day one of my very favorite pens. There's just something about it. I love an asymmetrical hybrid and the colors in it. It's all the things that I love. And then I'm getting on. Apologies for that. And then I have this tray from Munimade. I'm still kind of testing out and figuring out how I feel about their most recent tray changes that have like the lip over here to kind of mimic the washi tape hag, and then there's some other minor changes to these, so I just am kind of, still seeing if I like this one. I have most colors that Munimade offers in their 2.0 version. I think this is the third version or iteration they've done on these trays. I'm not planning to replace all of those colors, but if there's new colors that come out, I'm interested to see if this is a style that I'll want to keep using. But anyway, I'm going to be using Not Your Mama's Mud in my single placer. This is from the shop Whimsical Daisies. Their restocks are random as far as I know. The scent, this one is It's Coffee Time, and I've had this for a really long time too. And then Randa's Crafty Corner Putty is what I'm going to be using in my multi-placer today. This putty is the most consistent of most of the putties that I have in terms of tolerating different weather, different temperatures, different humidities. This tends to just behave really similarly no matter what the climate's doing, what the weather's doing. And in the summer heat, which is really ramping up where I live, we're really gradually getting warmer each day here. I need putty that's gonna be pretty consistent here. So I'm going to pull out this old putty and reload it. I do like to go ahead and scrape out most of it and get a pretty clean start if I can, but I'm not going to worry too much about all those little bits. It's fine. I have a little bit more putty than I know what to do with at this point, so it's fine. This one's in the scent Watermelon, and I have used it before. Yeah, you can see, but not a ton. It's a subtle scent. Randa's Crafty Corner doesn't tend to be too heavy-handed with their scents, and it's like the perfect size for my 12 placer, 10 placer. I can't remember. All I know is that I have visibly bent one of the like 4 or 5 12 placers that I have from DAC. That's where this metal multi-placer is from. And visibly bent one, and I think slightly bent another one. And so I don't know what's going on because I've been rotating through these different 12 placers since they've come out, and all of a sudden some of them are starting to bend. So I don't know, maybe it has something to do actually with my shoulder issues. Like maybe I'm diamond painting differently. I don't like pressing harder at different angles. I'm honestly not sure, but I don't know. I just am like, I don't want to be bending these. No fun. Let's clean out my single tip. That looks like that's actually not your mama's mud that was loaded in there, but we'll still do a fresh little load up here. Now, I feel like Not Your Mama's Mud, this I think is also from 2020, maybe 2021. Their wax doesn't usually come in these wider containers. They're usually a little bit narrower anymore, but yes, anyway. Okay, I'm gonna need my tweezers to grab these off, this section off, because I cut around it. I do like to section off my diamond painting with washi tape. I'm one of those people that I'll look at the stats like on this one and I'll go, okay, 71 centimeters tall. Let me see, how big would a section be if I divided this whole kit into 6 rows? Okay, it seems like that's a little bigger, a little smaller than I want to do, I'll be like, okay, how about 5 or how about 7? And I'll grab a measuring tape and I'll actually measure off the sizes of my sections so it's the same size of section over the whole kit while I'm working on it. I know not everyone does that, but I like the consistency of it, but that's just me. Okay, we're going to start with this white color, and I'm interested to kind of see what happens as I keep working on this kit because there have been a couple of colors that have been a bit trash prone. I'm really hoping I'm not going to run out of any colors. You can kind of see there is a little bit of trash in here, like little tabs sticking off the side. Like where's my little trash drill thing right here? Cat, stop scratching, please. I have a cat and a puppy. Hey, no. Mean mom voice coming out here on my WIP and Chat. The cat, Skip, looked at me like, what? I'm not doing anything wrong. He's just scratching at like a wicker basket that we have over there because he's a stinker. Any other pet parents in the chat in here? Equal opportunity dog and cat people here. And you guys get pup dates on our puppy pretty often. I guess I don't really give cat updates, but there's less exciting things happening with our cat. He's chill. Our cat's name is Skip. We've had him for 2.5 years, 3.5 years. What year did we get him? I can't remember. I think it was 2023. No, that's not right. 2022? Anyway, we've had him for a while, and we joke that our oldest son, Connor, basically manifested his dream cat. He had this very specific idea of what it would be like to have a cat and was like, my cat's going to do this. He's going to cuddle with me. I'm going to be able to pick him up, play with him, do this, and this, and this. And we knew we were going to adopt a cat from the shelter and just told him, like, you don't necessarily know what a cat's personality is going to be like. And we really try to love them no matter what. And we try to learn, what they like and all of that. And turned out that no, like Skip is exactly what Connor expected and wanted from a cat. So we just joke that Connor full on just manifested his dream cat. He's like, well, this is the cat that we're getting. And that's the cat we ended up with. It's truly the most chill cat that I've ever had in my life. And I've had cats my whole life. Extremely tolerant of the puppy and the kids, and he's just very content. He's a very happy cat, and I'm extremely, extremely thankful for him. So yes, and then we have a rambunctious, just turned 6-month-old puppy who is a delightful little mutt mix. I say mutt with all the affection in the world, believe me. Little mutt mix of a puppy that has more energy than he knows what to do with and is keeping us on our toes, but also has certainly found his way very comfortably into our family dynamic. But Anyway, back to this kit. Oh, see, there's a diamond here that definitely has a little tab sticking off the side, and that just won't do. So that's a little bit of what I'm running into, is some of these squares do have little bits of trash, and so I'm just hoping that I'm going to have enough after I pick out the trash that I will be able to place all good drills on this canvas. I'm pretty confident, though, that if I had enough trouble with it, if I just contacted the shop, I think that they're keeping their emails open and stuff, even though they're closing their doors, that I could contact them if I had issues, and hopefully they'd be able to get replacements for me. I would hope, fingers crossed. But yeah, Staya Mood closed their doors. I actually haven't checked their website to confirm that they're totally shut down, but they were planning to close their doors as of July 31st. So I don't know if this is the kit that will show up maybe in D-stash groups, or like I said, if maybe the artist might move on and license her work elsewhere. But yeah, this shop has closed their doors indefinitely, and I talked a little bit in the past couple weeks videos about how that kind of, I don't know, it's hard not to feel kind of melancholic about how so many shops are closing their doors, and understanding why. Like, it makes sense, but also it's really sad for the shop owners, for us as crafters. And I saw that yet another shop announced today, in fact, that they were closing up their doors. And this is one that I had on my list to try at some point, but hadn't gotten around to. Everything I was seeing in their shop was like 100% AI artwork. I was kind of waiting to see if they might release something that wasn't. And the price point was very high. And from what I could see in their Facebook group, the turnaround times were the longest that I think I may have ever seen. At one point, I think they were talking about how they were filling orders from almost a year ago. And I'm like, man, all of a sudden these made-to-order small shops like Jada Gem Shop with, I think they're shipping sea freight right now with some of the issues with things going on in the world. Like, those turnaround times can be longer, like, 2 or 3 months. I'm like, that's still way better than a year. And this particular company, it's called Painter Box, but they're located in Germany, and like their page was in their Facebook page was in German, but it would like auto translate for me. They were like saying they're gonna have to declare bankruptcy, and people, from what I could tell from the translate feature, it seemed like people were expecting that basically they weren't gonna get their money back. So that, I feel like that's when I feel really yucky, because there's been more than one small shop that have shut their doors and like not filled orders and basically taken people's money, and that is yucky. Then I have a lot less sympathy for the shop owners and just go, well, that's not okay at all. And it makes people feel really wary about shopping from other small shops. And that hurts those small shop owners and hurts the community. So it's just, I don't know. I think that it's really, it can be kind of rough out there. And I'm sad. It really does feel like about every week we're seeing news of another small shop shutting down or another shop shutting down. And I'm just hoping for the best for all the small shop owners and community members. I am really worried I'm going to run out of this particular color, you guys. Okay. Because there's a little bit more in some of the bottom sections that I haven't gotten to yet. But this is just 3865. I'm sure I have this color in my spare drill storage. Sorry, I keep accidentally brushing up against this plastic cover at the bottom. And the noise is driving me crazy. And I'm wondering if you guys are noticing is driving you crazy. But you know what I have noticed a distinct lack of noise-wise, and I hope you might have too. The neighbor's dog has been quite quiet in this week's videos and in this WIP and Chat so far. So I mentioned last week about how I had sent in a message to our HOA, and pretty much immediately the next evening, I heard back from them on Monday morning. I think they were closed over the weekend. So I heard back from them on Monday morning, and they said something along the lines of, like, we're really sorry you've had to deal with this. Like, yes, that's considered a rule violation, and we'll contact the residents there, and thanks for trying to be flexible and all that. And I mean, the neighbors must have seen it right away. And there have been one or two evenings where I did, like 2 nights ago, I think I heard their dog howling outside in the evening, and I was like, uh-oh, is this one of those things where they're like, okay, we'll listen for a little bit and then just kind of go back to it and hope that's good enough. But then tonight it's been silent, so I don't know, but I, at least, like, especially for the dog's sake, oops, sorry, I just hit the camera really hard. I hope that, the dog is happier and that they were able to it's a good solution for everybody. But, yeah, it's been a big relief to not have to worry about that. And I just hope that it stays. I hope that it sticks. I don't think that they know that it was us that said something. And I'm hoping that they just maybe didn't know or didn't realize. I don't know how they couldn't realize, but I'm trying to give benefit of the doubt even now. And that they just were like, oh, shoot, yeah, like, we'll make sure we don't, that's not an issue again, as opposed to them, like, sitting there grumbling, like, who reported us, blah, 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 blah. Because that's how people talk. But, yeah, I got really nervous because they texted me about something that same day that I knew that the HOA had contacted them. And I was like, oh no, like, I saw the text bubble pop up, because they always, the wife always texts me first. She's like, hey, Katie, like, hope you're doing well. She'll always send that initial text, and then she'll send a second text with whatever she was, like, going to say, like, the reason she's texting me. And so I got that text, and I was like, oh no, I see her typing. I'm like, is she about to be like, was it you that reported us? But no, she was just letting me know that there was a repair person, like, that was working on something in their house and was parked outside our garage, and let us know if we needed them to ask him to move. And I was like, see, I'm telling you, they're considerate people in so many ways. They're not bad people, you guys. I don't know if this is a blind spot or what, but anyway, we're just going to keep fingers crossed that this isn't a thing. So, anyway, so relieved about that. And other things that I'm going on diamond painting wise. This kit I have found a lot of momentum with here in the past week or so. It's been really tempting to just work on it quite a lot, but I'm trying to not go too hard because I don't want to overdo it on my shoulder. And that said, having the end in sight, being kind of on the last row on these last sections, it just makes me go, ooh, yay, I'm going to have a finish on this one soon, and I'll be able to switch back over to Eros and Psyche. And by switch back over, I mean actually put some diamonds down on that canvas, because I haven't placed a single drill on it yet. I felt silly pulling it out for my month in review video this past week to be like, this is kind of a WIP, but also doesn't have any drills on it, so it's not exactly a WIP, but I'm going to show it here anyway. Here, look at this pretty canvas. So I'm looking forward to actually starting on that one, and honestly just working with brown drills and just generally speaking drills that are not so fussy to work with. Like, I am picking around a lot of trash for this particular color. Overall, like, I'm still having a positive experience with this kit, but there's a couple of colors like this one that are pretty trash prone. There's that section, man. Yeah, this is going to be close. This could be really close. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Okay, we have to do all of this white up here. We're just going to cross our fingers. Oh, I was like, what's touching my foot? And I just realized that Scout crawled up by my feet, and I didn't realize. Sweet pupper. He's being such a love. Okay. So yes, this kit found some momentum, with the exception of having to pick around some trash drills in some of these colors. This black color up here, that's going to be 310, and that color is trash prone too. So this section in general, I'm just not super looking forward towards, but it's fine. You guys are helping me get through it. You're keeping me company while I see if I can get through it here. Okay. So yeah, haven't started on Eros and Psyche yet. Have not caught up on my temperature project yet, but that's on my list to try to get to this week as well after I finish this kit. So slow but steady WIP progress. I'm debating what other kits I want to work on this month. It's August, so I'm in this little like gap month before Drills and Chills starts, which where has the summer gone? How are we already in Drills and Chills season? I can't wrap my brain around where the time has gone, like at all. And that my kids are looking at getting ready for back to school, and that it's time for Drills and Chills. Lindsay and I were just texting earlier this evening about some logistics and figuring some things out with sponsors. We when we started out hosting this event, like we were both busy with our kids and just other stuff like that, but I feel like just as our kids have gotten older, in a lot of ways their special needs have gotten a little bit more intense and not less. So we're like, oh my gosh, we just are trying our very best to put together like a well-organized event, and hopefully something that people are going to enjoy participating in and that won't be like frustrating or anything. But we're also trying to keep it super like hands-off in terms of like we're not doing a does this qualify thread like we've done in some past years. And I see a lot of questions being posted in the Facebook group about, hey, do you guys think this qualifies? Do you guys think this qualifies? It's most of the posts in the group at this point, which is fine. I'm perfectly fine if people want to chat about it and chat about what they think and try to decide what projects to work on. But I'm definitely really relieved that, because some of these, honestly, I look at and I go, ooh, I don't know if I would say that one qualifies or not. But this year, and we started this last year too, I'm like, but I don't have to decide. I don't have to worry about that, unless it just so happens that that person's kit gets drawn for a grand prize. And then I will bend over backwards to try to find a way to make it qualify. So, but I also am like, just, pick something that has a pumpkin or is like very obviously Halloween coded in it. And then you'll be totally safe. But anyway, I think it's helped to try to streamline things a little bit. And hopefully that's really a lot less frustrating for people that are participating too. But trying to play some catch up on things like emails and all of that. But yeah, Drills and Chills is kicking off in less than a month. And we are working with some different sponsors to try to get like some on-theme accessories and stuff. There's going to be several different tray options, I know. And I've got someone working on a really fun cover minder. Actually, cover minders, I think plural, and more. Some fun like on-theme scented wax and putties and stuff. So hopefully it'll be fun for those of you that like to have event-themed stuff to work with your projects too. I have no idea yet what I'm going to work on for Drills and Chills. I was actually thinking about, and I would love your input on this. I know there's a couple of people that have done Drills and Chills stash videos, like what's in my Drills and Chills stash as far as like what kits do I have in my collection that I could work on for Drills and Chills. And I've been really tempted to go through scroll through my Gems Flow app, which is where I track all my diamond paintings. I've been tempted to go through mine and see what all kits I have that would hypothetically qualify for the event, and maybe use that as a way to try to decide which ones do I maybe want to work on this year. I'm guessing, no insider info here, genuinely, but I'm guessing that we will have some Halloween releases from various companies, like Halloween kits coming out. Oops. And so part of me is like, I don't want to overcommit to something that I already own, because chances are decent that there will be a kit that comes out that I'm going to be like, ooh, I really love that. I want to work on that. So I'm trying to leave a little bit of space for that at least. But yeah, we'll have to see. Yeah, no, I am really starting to get really worried I'm going to run out of this color by the end of this kit, because there's a little bit more at the tips of the cat's paws. Okay, I might have to go diving in my spare drill storage. That's okay. That's all right. Like I said, I'm pretty confident I could contact the shop about replacements, but I just don't really want to. I'd really rather not. But I could. Okay, so Drills and Chills kits are TBD. I do like to, when I can, work on some that are more on the fall side of things and some that are more on the Halloween side of things. So it's very like equal opportunity. And I know that I think I have a decent mix. I think that drill has a hole in the top. And on the cat's face, I don't really want holy drills in the cat's face. I'll save that drill to put in the cat's paws, but the cat's face, I'm like, no, I want this one to look really good. But yes, let me know if you would be interested in seeing a drills and chills stash video from me. And I don't know, maybe I could try to put one of those together. That could be fun. It could be fun. I wonder how many kits I have in my stash that would technically qualify. And I know some of those kits I probably wouldn't even bother showing because I don't want to have to answer on camera with witnesses whether or not certain kits would qualify. Because like, I don't want to have to decide if I feel like that kit qualifies or not. Okay. Anyway, what else has been going on? I saw someone ask in the Diamonds and Emeralds Facebook group earlier, it was today or yesterday, about if we were planning to update the licensed shop list. I know I've asked your guys' input here too on that one. It's something I really want to do. I am overwhelmed by the scope of that particular task because with so many shops closing, for one, I just really would need to click in and check on virtually all the shops that we have on that list. And also trying to keep track of shops that have opened, that is tricky. And depending on like how long you've been around, you may also remember there have been times that this has come up and has a little bit like come back to want to bite us. And so I'm a little gun shy of it. But there have been times where we've been a little iffy or even like inadvertently come across licensing issues with shops that have said that they're licensed. And then we find out that actually there's this issue, they're not. And then owners get like super upset and offended. And I am so incredibly conflict avoidant right now. Well, I always am, but like I don't want anyone to think that I'm targeting them. I don't want to upset anyone. I don't want it to be like a thing, TM. So there's part of me, it's like, I just don't even want to try updating it because I don't want anyone to read into like what is or isn't on there. Anyone who, I don't know, who thinks their shop should be on there. And then if it's not, they get really upset. I'm like, I'm not looking to make anyone mad. I'm really not. There's sometimes I'm fine. Like I'm good. I'll be able to balance and handle all that fine. I'm not at a point in my life where I can do that. I've got too much else going on. I can't add any stress. And not, especially not for something like that. So that's a little bit of it too, is like, I'm afraid of, well, what if there's an issue and it's easier to just not update it and then I don't have to deal with it. But then that's not helpful for people. So I don't know. I might take a stab at it and just sort of see what happens when I try to do some updates to it. I don't know, you guys. But I just know it's on my brain. It's on my brain. I know it was a really helpful resource for a lot of people. Let me practice my talking. And I'd really love to be able to get back to it, but I'm not sure. Not sure when I'll be able to do that. Yeah, this is a really bad color, you guys. Holy cow. I'm really having to pick around a lot. We're getting close to the end of this color in this section though, which will be good. And we're gonna be like halfway into this WIP and Chat by the time we get just this one color done. It's fine. Everything's fine. That's my mantra lately, is it's fine. It's really, everything's fine. We're not stressed. We're not upset. Everything's fine. We're all good. Everything's fine. Okay. So speaking of conflict avoidance, I was just glancing over at my notes and I literally have a little note under my update about the neighbor's dog where I just wrote like, is anyone else super conflict avoidant? That's just, I don't know. I feel like the more sort of stress and other things I have going on in my life, the more I'm like, I can't, there can be no sources of possible conflict in my life right now. And that's just where I'm at. Is that 100% healthy? No, of course not. That's why I'm in therapy. But it's just where I'm at. So other things, I got the chance to go out with a friend today. It was kind of a last minute thing that came together. Adam has been kind of on call for helping out with some family stuff he's had going on lately. And so I had texted my friend Rachel. We've been trying to get together. We were actually trying to get our dogs together. Not puppies. Mine's a puppy. Hers is a little bit older dog. We've been trying to get them together for another puppy play date before she goes back to work, before the school year. The school year is about to start, and she's a teacher. And this past week, it didn't quite work out because we ended up being too busy. But she texted me over a couple of days ago and said, hey, like, this upcoming week's my last full week of summer. Let me know if you want to get the pups together next week. And I had immediately texted back. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I really do want to get together. I said, I'll get back to you about a morning to potentially get the pups together. I said, but I'm also craving just a chance to get to catch up with you and do like our little home goods browse together. And we have this tradition we've been doing this for a very long time, where we'll get together. Sometimes we'll get coffee or lunch, and then we will just go walk through. There's this big old home goods TJ Maxx combo store down in Irvine, and we will just take a couple hours and just happily slow browse the entire store aisle by aisle. We'll go ahead and fill up our carts and then put 90% of it back, but we'll just kind of like happily window shop. And then once we get through the whole store, we'll, step off together and go through our carts and be like, okay, what are we actually going to get? Today, obviously, I wasn't going to do any real shopping, but it was still fun to like basically window shop and pretend shop. And she was so sweet. She insisted on buying me coffee and buying me lunch. And I was like, you don't have to do this. And she's like, no. I insist. Like, I've been in your shoes before. And she's like, you've done it for me in the past, and now it's my turn to do it for you. And, but mostly, like, it wasn't about that. It was mostly we just browse and we talk. We just catch up on life and all the things. And we've been friends since getting married. We met them like a couple of months after Adam and I met Rachel and her husband just a couple of months after we got married, and we had just moved to California, and they also were transplants from the Pacific Northwest to California, and they had been married for a year when we met. So we just have gone through a whole lot of life together. And so it's good to be able to just catch up and chat. And so it was good for the soul to get to do that today. And Adam just hung out at home with the kids, and we ended up being out for like almost 5 hours. It was delightful. So that was a really unexpected blessing of a way to spend the day. We talked at lunch about how it just seems like the older that we get, the more different it looks to create new friendships. We're like, it's, when we first met them, it's like we were newlyweds. We didn't have kids. We were kind of just super flexible in terms of what our schedules looked like, and just be able to do things like very spontaneously, and I don't know, just very follow our noses in a lot of ways. And now that we have kids and on the younger side of things, kids, it just looks different. And we're like, as it is, it's hard to kind of get together at these kind of last minute things with people that kind of already know you and get what your schedule is and stuff. But like trying to make new friends and new connections like that just feels like it's that much. I know it's kind of trickier unless if their kids involved in something that your kid's involved in, or your kids are in the same class or something, that tends to make it a little bit easier. But I don't know. It's just how things kind of change as you grow up, as you get older. I'm 36 and she's 37, so we're just kind of in that phase of life. And we were talking about things like how things have shifted with like her dad hasn't been doing super well. And she's kind of talked a little bit about the kind of the shift in dynamic with that. And so, I don't know. It was a more like introspective kind of hangout today, but I was really glad that I got to do it. It was very relaxing and rejuvenating for sure. And then on the other hand, Friday was like this. That was the good news. That was the like nice side of things. It was especially relaxing after kind of the little bit of a disaster that was Friday. So, what happened was, so my family, we have this tradition. We don't really eat out almost at all because, especially not right now, and we're on a really tight budget. We just don't eat out. But one thing that we have kept to is Friday night pizza. It's been a tradition of our families for years and years and years. There's a particular dinner box deal that our Pizza Hut has, and it's, we usually make multiple meals out of it. The kids look forward to it. It's just a really nice treat for Friday nights. And that doesn't like blow our budget wide open, right? Well, it's Friday evening. Go ahead and go to order the pizza. Adam is not currently home. He's gone down to help his family with some stuff. And I put in the order for the pizza. And then it's time to go pick up the pizza. And went to go out to the car. And Micah went to open the garage door for me to push the button. And I hear him go, he pushes, and I hear him go, "Oh, Mom, garage door is broken." And I was just coming in from the backyard still. And I was like, wait, what? Oh, maybe just like the button didn't quite work or something. Maybe it's an issue with the battery or something. I was like, oh, let's try pushing it again. He pushed it and it went up like an inch and then stopped. And I'm like, well, this is really weird. What's going on here? And so I'm trying to troubleshoot it, trying to see. I tried like doing the manual release and then reconnecting it. Tried to figure out what's wrong, tried pushing the remote instead, and then thought, well, let me at least, like, let's just get out and get the pizza. Like, Micah's getting increasingly upset because he just really, he wants to go. He doesn't understand why the garage door is broken. If you're new, my kiddos both are autistic and have special needs, and so just their needs kind of, they manifest in various ways throughout the day-to-day, and so he was getting very, very agitated in a way that someone that's neurotypical just simply would not to this kind of extent. So he's getting really upset, and I'm finally like, well, let me just use the manual release, and I'll just lift it so that I can get out, and then I'll, get out of my car and close it behind me, and it'll be fine. Like if it's just manually unlocked for the 10 minutes it's going to take me to go pick up the pizza and come back. Well, I did the manual release and I tried to lift the garage door, and like there have been a couple of times when the power has gone out when I've had to do this, and when you do the manual release and you go to lift your garage door, it's surprisingly not that heavy, right? This time I go to try to lift it and it's like too heavy to lift. And I was like, oh no, something is wrong. So I think something's broken. Like, I don't know if it's with the track. I don't know what it is. Like, I've never had to deal with this before, you guys. So I start Googling, and then I'm pretty confident that I have figured out that one or both of the springs has broken. Like this is just sort of universally what I was seeing. Now it's Friday, 5:30, and I'm thinking, there's no way I'm going to find someone that's going to be able to come out and repair this tonight, or even be able to like get my car out of the garage, or even just, I don't think I'm gonna be able to get anyone on the phone tonight, right? It's a Friday night, it's dinner time, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna check Google, check Yelp, and just see. And so I did that, and I'm also trying to like price compare a little bit, because I'm like, I have no idea, absolutely no idea how much this is going to cost. Just no concept of this, right? And I was very fortunate. There were a couple places I was able to get rough estimates from, just from their websites. But then there was a particular person that was pretty, like just the next city over, so pretty local to us. And it said like he basically would, get back to you anytime, like weekday, weekend. Had really, really great reviews. Looked like he was just kind of a guy. Like, he didn't have a website or anything. He was showing up on like Yelp and stuff. So I thought, well, I'll call. I ended up getting his voicemail. I tried to leave just a really nice voicemail. I just said like, hi, I'm sorry for the Friday evening call. I think my garage door's broken, and I just thought I would call and see if this is something you're able to help with. I don't know. And so I called and left a message. I ended up hearing back from him like half an hour later. Nicest dude ever. Super, super nice guy. And he asked me some questions and confirmed. He's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the spring or springs that have broken. And I said, okay. And then he said, I don't think I have all the parts I would need to be able to fix it today. I'm supposed to be getting more parts over the weekend, and I could come out Monday and fix it. And I said, that's completely fine. I said, is there a safe way that you can suggest, or any tricks you have to suggest for me to be able to open this garage door just so I can get my car out? Like, open the garage door, get my car out, close it back up. And I can street park, because we have street parking in our neighborhood. And he said, where did you say that you live? And I told him like our city and cross streets. And he's like, I'm close by. He's like, I'll come by. I'll help you get the car out so you're not stuck over the weekend. And then I can, confirm what the issue is, and that if I don't have the springs to fix it or whatever, and then I'll be back on Monday. I was like, okay, but how much is that going to cost? He's like, it's not going to cost you anything. And I was like, I felt like I had encountered a unicorn. I was like, this isn't a thing that people do nowadays. Or if they do, this is like something that happens in a small town, like the small town where I grew up in Ohio. I'm like, this is not a Southern California thing. Like, what is happening right now? And so this guy came out, like an older guy. His like wife was with him and was really sweet. And yeah, he just helped open the garage door safely so I could get my car out. And then he was like, okay, I'll be back on Monday. And his rates seemed really reasonable. I talked to my parents, and they're like, oh yeah, it's a really good price. Keep his number. So anyway, so that was a wonderful positive. I don't love that I have this like home repair that we have to deal with. But it's like, it could be much worse. I'm really thankful this didn't happen while we were in an emergency situation. Like, that would have been extremely upsetting and stressful. That said, the kids both of them had a really hard time with the like, well, we were supposed to be having pizza, and now just very suddenly, like, we're not going to be doing that. And again, neurodivergent kids, sometimes things that it seems like they shouldn't be that big of a deal, or they should just be able to be flexible on, it is a bigger deal to them. My kids really, really, really thrive on routine, and this has been our Friday night routine for years. Micah was all excited. He's always excited to go help me pick up the pizza, and didn't get to do that. And so that part was hard. I had to really help them both through that. And I was kind of just, after the week, not feeling like, I was not at my best. I was like, being able to pick up dinner is supposed to be like a stress reliever. It's supposed to be helpful at the end of the week. I know life happens, but I was just feeling like, oh my gosh, you guys, like, I wish we could go pick up the pizza too. I'm so sorry. By the time the guy got over here to get the car out of the garage, I was like, you guys are going to be way too hungry for us to get the pizza after. So, and it was not in the budget to like pay for Pizza Hut to deliver, right? So I called the Pizza Hut and was like, I'm sure they know like our name and stuff at this point, because we're there every Friday night with the same order every single time. I just said, you're not going to believe this. Like, my car is stuck in the garage because our garage door broke. Is there any way you can like cancel this order, and we will be back tomorrow even? And so they were able to cancel the order, but they're really nice about it. But I just was like, oh my gosh, It's not what I expected from a Friday night. But we figured it out. We made it through, and we did get our pizza Saturday night instead. So all is well, but that was kind of a little bit of a misadventure for a Friday. The other misadventure of the week was getting a letter in the mail about the health insurance that I mentioned last week about being so relieved. The relief is gone because apparently we may have been unintentionally misled by the person that I spoke to at the social services office, and it might just not actually be as cut and dry as what she said. And long story short, they have not actually processed all the paperwork that I submitted yet, and they have inaccurate information, and like I don't even want to necessarily get into it, but basically there's going to be like an additional monthly cost for us that is like outrageous. And like this isn't Medi-Cal insurance. Like this is a ridiculous monthly premium that like we'll just go through Marketplace if this is what's going to happen. So the good news is I did find out that our current insurance like is good at least through the end of August. So I have a little bit of time, and I'm going to try to go back in this week and see if I can get some clarity and get this all figured out. But that was really discouraging to get that letter in the mail that had like the concrete information laid out and be like, oh, well, that sucks. That like royally sucks. So yeah, anyway, I'm not going to try to explain all of it because it's one, it's boring and not fun to hear about, and two, it's too stressful. But anyway, just hoping that I can go back in and maybe we can get it straightened out. Okay. Other things that have been going on. I've been chatting her off for 45 minutes already. I feel like I barely talked about anything. I had my first physical therapy appointment this week for my shoulder, finally. Sad I never got off the cancellation list to get in sooner, but I'm just glad that I have an appointment. I'm really looking forward to having someone actually look at my shoulder, diagnose what's going on, and start working towards healing and helping that, just those muscles and whatever heal up again. I have been diamond painting more this past week, and I did notice that it's really if I spend more than a couple hours a day diamond painting, I start to have some discomfort and notice the strain. So I'm trying to continue to be very careful and cautious because I don't want to cause further injury. I want to heal it up, and I'm going to be a good patient. I know the stereotype is that people go to physical therapy and then don't do their exercises when they're at home, and I'm like, no, I'm going to be a model patient. Tell me what to do, and I want to heal, so I will do it. I'll do all the things you tell me. I will be the best patient. I will get an A+ in physical therapy. Okay, I want to get good grades in physical therapy, you guys. So fingers crossed, and I hope it's not like really painful. I guess I hadn't really thought about that, but like I think that can sometimes be part of physical therapy, is that it can be kind of uncomfortable at first, or for part of it to like do the exercise. I'm like, I will follow the rules. I will follow the directions. I just want to heal up my shoulder. Okay, that would be great. That would be great. I'm really looking forward to getting to tell them when they ask like, so how do you think that this happened? I'll be like, diamond painting too much. What's diamond painting? Well, let me tell you all about that. Can I convert you? Would you like me to bring you a project next week for you to try it out yourself? That's really what my goal is going to be. Like, can I convert my physical therapist into a diamond painter? They'd be like, no, all that repetitive motion, literally asking for an injury. No, pass. I feel like that's what's going to happen. I'll report back though. And then I've been playing a lot of Mass Effect 2. I love this game so much. And I also really appreciate the recommendations you guys have given me over the past few weeks when we've been talking about video games. And I have noted many of them. But you know what? Right now, I'm not rushing my way through Mass Effect. I'm like, this story and the characters, they're so rich. There's a reason this is one of my favorite video games of all time. I'm just going to take my time. I'm just going to enjoy every bit of playing this game, and also just enjoying that it's been long enough since I've played this game that I don't necessarily remember all the little details. It's like, this is the upside to having a really, really, really bad memory, is that things that I know that I'm going to love, it's like I get to experience them for the first time again. It's great. It's great. So I'm loving the game so much. I'm not quite halfway through it. And I'm playing it most days. Like, I'm usually getting an hour or two in most days of getting to play and really enjoying it quite a lot. This past week, well, like updates on the boyos. So this past week we got the chance to go down to Oceanside, which is where Adam's parents live. It's like a little bit over an hour drive from us, so it's really not bad at all. But there's a specific, I called it a train museum last week. But it's like a model railroad society. And so museum is kind of, that was a misnomer. It really is like this, I think it's mostly volunteers, but it's just people, like mostly it looks like retired folks that love model trains. And it's basically like there's two big rooms that just have model train tracks and model like train setups and everything all throughout both rooms. And these guys like bring in their like model trains and set them up, and they get to use like tablets and their phones to like switch the tracks and do all these different little things. Now, my little kiddos, who I love so much, that like they love trains so much, and I love that it's such like the stereotype, honestly. And I say this as someone that is also neurodivergent and autistic, but like I love the stereotype of like they love trains, like kiddos that are autistic love trains. And that's totally them. And the reason that I love this is because that means that there's a lot of stuff like this available, like something like this. The kids were in heaven. The boys loved it. Connor got to go and talk to these volunteers just to his heart's content and ask all kinds of like really detailed little questions. He loved it. Micah was in just like stimming heaven. It was like ticking all the boxes for him, and we could have stayed there for hours. And it's really cool because it's free on Sundays and Wednesdays, and we went down on the Wednesday. And it also had the added benefit, like us going down, just, you know, Adam's family's been dealing with some really hard stuff lately. And so a big blessing of Adam, an upside, like the kind of silver lining to Adam not working right now, is that we're a lot more available just in terms of time and emotionally to be supportive to them. And so it meant a lot to them that we were able to go down and just be there and spend some time with them. And they got to spend some time with obviously like their grandkids, which they love. So it was a really wonderful visit. You know, we're not doing any vacations or anything this summer for obvious reasons, but we're finding ways to do things that basically, it's like it doesn't cost us anything, and it's still really special and meaningful. So I'm really glad we're able to do that. And the boys, I feel like, are having a good summer with it, getting family time and stuff. And my mom is flying out for a visit here in like a week and a half. And you guys have seen my mom pop up here on my channel in WIP and Chats before. She went to the diamond painting retreat with me this past May/June. And so she'll be bringing some of her diamond painting stuff. And, you know, I usually like to bring her on to chat with you guys in a WIP and Chat. So I'll see if she wants to pop on with me while she's visiting. But she'll be here for a week and a half in between. Yeah, she has like 2 different baby showers to go to, and she's basically squeezing this visit in between these baby showers, and getting some time in with the kids and stuff before they go back to school. So really looking forward to having her here. Yeah, we've been doing pretty well. As far as a pup date goes, he is a bundle of energy. Scout just turned 6 months old, and I feel like is just... We're spending a lot of time making sure that we're playing with him. Connor is being wonderfully responsible. I almost said responsive, no, responsible with him, and loves to run and play with him. And I feel like he's about old enough to be able to take Scout on walks, just like little walks around our little neighborhood. And Scout is he's doing a lot of chewing. We're mostly able to direct that to things he's supposed to, but he's definitely sometimes getting into like the kids' toys. And so I'm kind of finding ways to rearrange things so that it's not, you know, right at his level and stuff like that. Still, excuse me, have the hiccups. Still working on the digging outside, but I don't know. I just feel like it hasn't been hasn't been too bad. I think we're safe to say that he's housebroken at this point, which is a big relief. He hasn't had an accident in, I think, several weeks at this point. And so, not bad. 6 months old, being housebroken. Yeah, I'll call that a win. I do want to work on some more, like, just good training with him. I want him to have some really good recall. I mean, tricks are all well and good, but like, I want to teach him to have good leash manners, good other dog manners, and like I said, just responding consistently when we call for him and stuff like that. So, I think YouTube's going to be our friend for researching some ways to do that. See if we can do that ourselves as opposed to like taking him to obedience classes. But that's hopefully we can at least set a good foundation with YouTube until, if we feel like we want to do obedience classes when it's in the budget, then maybe. But for now, we still want to do what we can. What else has been going on? Where did the summer go? All right, we already talked about that. How is it already August? How is school starting? Like, before we know it, I don't know where the time went. As far as what I have been reading and watching and listening to, reading-wise, I've been spending all my time gaming. So I haven't started my book yet, my audiobook. I keep thinking that I'm going to be ready to go ahead and start my next Brandon Sanderson book, and it keeps just not being quite the right time. Like, but I'm ready. I'm ready to go start. So there's that. But I would be happy to hear your suggestions for books for Connor. I think we're going to try to go to the library maybe here soon. And we have some like great library options near us. But he's definitely at the right age for chapter books and is enjoying a lot of them so far. He's made his way, I think, through most of the Magic Treehouse books at this point, and I feel like is ready for slightly more like complicated, like they can be like a little bit longer chapter books at this point. We had brought back with us on one of our last trips back from Ohio. They were actually my brother's books, and he said he didn't want them anymore, but they were like the Guardians of Ga'Hoole books. And those, I feel like they're maybe just a little bit long for him. I mean, he did start one of them, and he usually reads like a few chapters an evening. But I feel like that's probably, I don't know, like that kind of length is about it. So he's 10. But if any of you have any suggestions for, chapter books or something like that that could be good for his age, I don't know if like Chronicles of Narnia might be a good age for that. But yeah, I'd love your suggestions if you have any. Watching, well, I have gone down, the special interest is special interesting. I'm watching a lot of YouTube videos about the Mass Effect video game series. I found one recently that was called like the Mass Effect Lore Cast, and it's still active. Like I just watched a YouTube video of one that they had done, like the one up yesterday. It was really interesting. It was about like, what are your hot takes about the Mass Effect series? And it was really fun to listen to. So I tend to do this when I get really into a thing, is I'm like, let's see what YouTube videos there are about this thing. And that's the phase that I'm in right now. It's just really enjoying all the YouTube things about Mass Effect. I also think that maybe this week, when there's half price tickets on Tuesday or Wednesday, Adam said that he thinks I'd really enjoy the Fantastic Four movie. So I might try to go on like a discount ticket day to see it, because he saw it with some friends on opening weekend. And so I might go try to see that this week. I think we also have like an AMC gift card. Maybe I'll swipe that and use that, even on the reduced half price tickets. And then listening to, guys, I know a lot of you probably are like, wait, doesn't everyone listen to Spotify or, some other music subscription service? I don't. But I did open up Spotify for like the free version to use the other day, because I was trying to listen to a specific song or a specific thing that was listed on Spotify. And I was like, let me poke around here. This was the Spotify account that I had created like 10, 12 years ago. I was just sort of cracking up at some of the like playlists and stuff that I had created. It was like a time capsule. And then I was like, well, let me just kind of see. Let me just pick one of these like stations or whatever, one of these like pre-created playlists. And I was like, oh, okay, this is kind of fun. And again, it's just the free version on like the web browser. I was like, okay, this is fun. Okay, maybe I'll start listening and branching out music-wise just a little bit. Just not too much. Not gonna go too crazy. But like, listen to the pop radio station. That'll be fun. So anyway, I'm branching out just a little bit. And for those of you that are like, yeah, I look forward to my Spotify Wrapped every year. I'm jealous of those of you that get your Spotify Wrapped. Like I've always just listened to the music that I already own that's just loaded on my phone. So this I'm branching out just a tiny bit. Okay, videos this week. So I have something on the way from a small shop that I think will be a sneak peek if it arrives on time. So I'm watching the mail for that one and excited to see. It's a small shop you've seen on my channel before that I love a lot. They're known for their minis, but yes, stay tuned for that, assuming UPS behaves. Now, my sneak peek for Diamond Art Club last week hasn't even shipped yet. I think there's some delays in the warehouse, so hopefully that'll ship out and you'll see a belated first look from me at some point. And then I have a couple of kits I might like to do a post review on that I haven't done dedicated post reviews on yet that maybe I'll get to this week. And then some unboxings that I'll kind of just follow my nose. I'm also percolating on some other ideas that are not kind of my usual standard fare, some more like interesting kinds of listicle type videos. So I might see if this is the week I could pull those together, kind of stretch myself a little bit. I tend to fall into quite a rhythm and a routine where it's like, okay, unboxings, reviews, whip and chat, just sort of a lot of the same sorts of stuff. And every once in a while I'm like, no, I want to shake it up a little bit, do something that's just different and honestly more interesting for a lot of people. So including myself. So maybe this will be the week to kind of get something new and fresh out there. But stay tuned. I guess we'll see what happens. And subscribe if you want to make sure that you don't miss any of the YouTube content I have coming your way this week. But that is going to be a wrap on our whip and chat. We got some progress done on this cat's face. I'm looking at it in the camera being like, oh, it looks a little creepy with like where some of these like cutoffs are. But cute little cat face. I think I might cover this up and save the rest of the section for after I finish the bottom row. I'm a little bit nervous, like I said, about if I'm going to have enough of that white color to do the white that's in the cat's paws down here. So I'm kind of anxious to go down there and finish that up and make sure I'll be good on those. But thanks for hanging out with me in this whip and chat today. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, why don't we do some kind of cat emoji in honor of the last time you'll see this kit in a whip and chat, unless something goes really kind of crazily awry and somehow the next 3 sections take me until next Monday. But I guess anything could happen. Why not? But no, let me know how you're doing. If you worked on anything today you want to share about, diamond painting wise or otherwise. And thanks as always for spending some time with me today. Like I said, I'll have my playlist of whip and chats linked below if you're interested. And you can even go back to 2020. Fall 2020 is where I did my very first whip and chat. I'll be coming up soon on my 5-year anniversary of my channel. I always forget if it's in August or September. I should go back and look. Is it about to come up or is it not till next month? But 5 years on YouTube. Yeah, been a minute. But I thank you for making my channel what it is. And yeah, some of you have been around since practically the beginning, which I love. Anyway, I'm really going to let you go. I'm chatting your ear off and we are well over the hour mark and I am going to go get this video up for you guys. But I hope you are doing very, very well, my friends, in this beautiful summer weather, if it is summery where you are. And I hope you have a day and a week that's as wonderful as you are. I'll talk to you again soon, guys. Bye.